So we're Mastermind Media. We do things a little bit differently. We do interactive podcasts with our Discord community. They'll drop some questions in here. We'll sort through those, but we've got a couple set ones here for you. Um, Terrance McKinney, everyone, T-Rex himself. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. My pleasure, man. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully, you guys got a little hour in with Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
So starting all the way back to your high school days, you were a two-time wrestling state champion, a Fargo All-American in freestyle. What kind of motivation did that give you at the beginning of your career?
Those were great experience, and I'll say it definitely helped being able to compete at the highest level. Cause like even when I was wrestling at state, that like we'll be wrestling in front of like 12,000 people. Like it'd be insane. There'd be like so many high schools, so many different athletes there. So like I think definitely everything happened for a reason, and it prepared me to be in the situation that I'm in today for sure.
Awesome. That's quite an achievement.
Sweet. So, in your MMA debut in 2016, you won by knockout in 15 seconds. So, what's that like getting a knockout coming from a wrestling background?
Oh man, I never like Davey like yesterday. Uh, cause my mom was like, "What are you doing? You're wrestling." Because uh, but we'll get to the venue. So we get there, and the sickest part, Herb Dean's refereeing my first fight ever.
No
That's
way.
sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
That's sick.
And then like you said, I ended up getting that knockout. And then my mom's like, "Hey, you might be able to do this shit." Actually, she were just dying, cracking up. I was like, "Ah, that." And yeah, just and I told her, Dean, I was like, "I think you're gonna be ref for me someday in the UFC. See you soon."
Wow. Full circle, huh? Has he
Yeah,
refed you since then?
yeah, he has actually a couple times.
That's sick.
Yeah. So that's why I tell people you got to speak life, and that's why in the Bible it says power, life, and death in the tongue. You know what I mean? Like even when I sucked, I just knew I was gonna be a state champion. I'll just tell myself I was like, I had a outrageous goal. Like if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Like I always be like, I'm gonna be a four-time state champion, and then maybe I didn't even get coming fucking close. And then the next year I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a three-time state champion, and and I was like, all right, it didn't happen, but I was like, I still got a chance to be a two-timer, and then it ended up happening. It's just like don't limit yourself, you know what I mean? And I had like this older guy tell me, he said, a fish can only get as big as his fishbowl, you know what I mean? But you put in the ocean, it can really expand to something great. So like I just tell people like don't put yourself in a fishbowl. Don't limit who you are. So yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. Do you have any words of advice for a young fighter just coming up?
Just come in it with open arms and just know it's okay to lose. And actually try stuff because these guys are supposed to beat you. So this is a chance to develop your style. So this is your time to open up and make mistakes. So yeah, do it at practice so you don't have to make mistakes out there in the cage. So
Right on. 8 days after you headlined LFA 109, you fought Matt Frivola. In your debut, ending in the 7 second knockout. How did that feel to not only debut that night, but to also get the knockout and to set that record?
that was huge for me because like as you guys know, growing up, I wasn't doing everything right, and I know sometimes I made my mom proud, but I didn't really know if I was because just the way that I was like maneuvering throughout college, just like how much money I cost to get in trouble with the law, fighting the cops and things like that. And a lot of people don't notice, but I was scared to fight at first. And then after that near death experience, like I saw like all this crazy fighting, and I became like one of the baddest men on the planet my trip. And I was like, dang, if God showed me all that, that's only one place you can get a title like that, and that's the UFC. So I went to college like one more year, then I dropped out, and I like took fighting like seriously, and then like the rest was history. But that night, that was probably like the best night of my life because I cried. You know what I mean? Because I was like, God, you showed me all this, and like I'm here. Like there ain't nothing you can't do. Like I literally was about to be in jail for like 5 years. I entered cops. Like I really thought my life was over. I didn't know what to do except pray. You know what I mean? At that rate, like I'm black, fought the cops. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and then just for like all the sacrifice and all the hardship I faced, getting knocked out on contender series, breaking my leg, fracturing the ball in my shoulder before the contender series, just all this crazy stuff. And it just finally for like everything become a reality, you know what I mean? Like I said, best day of my life right there. And then like seven is like God's number, and I know that He was with me that night, and my life's never been the same since.
So how's your
That's
recovery
awesome.
going? Are you feeling good? Back to new?
What'd you say?
I said, how was the recovery whenever you were messed up your leg?
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, it took like 6 months. Like I still can't like even jump the same as I used to be honest. I used to be able to do backflips off the wall.
Mm.
None of that now.
Another question I had for you: what's it like having the shortest fight time in lightweight history?
um, like my homie me be laughing about. I was like, dude, I can quit right now. And like, I was like, that's in the history books, man. Like, got like my story is forever written in history. You know what I mean? And like, that's only something God can do. Same with His story. That's why it still lasts today. So like, for me to have just a little small moment like that, that's can live forever. Like, I'm highly blessed.
Awesome.
You have 100% finish rate in the UFC. What's it like to have that kind of record?
It's just I like to fight. I always like once I started, once I realized I can knock people out, I was like, fuck it, I'll take the risk. You know what I mean? And I was like, all I was thinking, like at first it was about the money, but I just know now that like God put me on this platform for a bigger reason. But at first, like I was thinking, like, oh man, I'm trying to get the 50K bonus every time. I'm trying to be like Justin Gaethje. You know what I mean? That's kind of why I fight like that. I was like, and like it was working out because even when I lose, like the UFC takes care of me, give me extra money because like I go out there and try to make this exciting as possible for you guys to give it that real fight feel. So
Hey, we all tune in to T-Rex.
thank
That's
you,
a
bro.
fact.
Mhm. In the past, you've said that you wanted to be an Olympic wrestler eventually. Would you say that the UFC kind of satisfied that dream feeling for you?
Yeah, but I think I could have did it, but like I said, I wasn't living right. I was partying, doing the most, just focus on girls. But like I said, everything happens for a reason. So like when I quit wrestling, I knew it was time for me to go to my next part of my journey. And like I said, my first fight ever knocked it out in 16 seconds, and after that, I was hooked.
It's almost
I
the
was like, all
same
right, that was
way.
kind of sick.
Out of all your 22 fights that you've had, which one's been the toughest and which are you most proud of?
um, I'm proud of all my losses to be honest because I was able to come back and like even when most people get discouraged, they lose twice. They're like, I'm done. I'm cut by UFC. Uh, I was able to keep faith and stay positive and just knew like opportunity would come and I just had to make sure I was ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to quit. You know what I mean? So like every loss matured me. You know what I mean? So like I'm thankful for all my losses. That's why some people say, "Whoa, you post a picture you lost." I was like, "Yeah, I mean," because at the same time, it's a lesson and a blessing to me. You know, I'd rather
Absolutely.
this shit happen than it not happen if I ever fight for the title someday. So I'd rather me figure out all these mistakes and these holes now and learn how to be humble now so that I can be a good champion that people can actually look up to. So
We look forward to it. The next thing I have for you: what's it like to train at such an elite gym, man?
being at Fusion XL now is freaking crazy. Just training with Leota Machida, Alex Perry comes in sometimes. Just like it's such a like crazy atmosphere because I know like the people that I train with that I'm sparring with is probably far better than my opponent. So like it's a huge confidence builder going into my fight because I'm training with Mike Davis. He's one of one or two fights from being ranked in UFC.
Boy.
We got Charles Johnson there. We got so much talent like Julian Williams, such a crazy grappler. I got crazy striking coaches that come in just like it's a privilege being in a home where martial arts is such a big deal in Florida. So like there's so much vast knowledge I get to get out here. So like that's when I knew it was home, and I knew when God told me to come here, it was time to move, and everything's been falling into place.
Your next fight is scheduled for February 1st on Fight Night 250. How does it feel to be back on such a big card?
Uh, it's incredible, and I can see like the favor of God coming on our team because like I got two other guys fighting on my team. Like you don't see that unless it's like American Top Team, City of Kickboxing for like such like small kind of gym like us to be able to have three people on our team on the same card is like crazy. So
Awesome.
I'm excited about that. We get to put Fusion on the map, and I'm looking forward to February 1st. It's gonna be crazy.
That's awesome.
Let's
What can we
go.
expect to see if you can give us any kind of preview?
Uh, I do want to show I can just really mix it up, and but you guys know I'm not here to go for a decision. That's just never been me. Like I like to fight. I want to see if you really who you say you are. You know what I mean? Let's see if you really believe it, and we're gonna test that in the mirror February 1st. So
Awesome. I love to hear it.
Well,
Well,
Terrance, that's really all we got for you today, man. It's been an honor to have you on. Is there anybody you would like to shout out or plug any of your socials?
I don't really care about my social media anymore. But shout out to Fusion XL. Uh, shout out to my family. My daughter's about to be born. Uh, you guys saw my son. Shout out to the team. Like I tell people, like you can't go to war without an army. So like without my teammates, without the sacrificing their body to help me get in tip top shape for my camps, none of these victories would be possible. So shout out to them, and shout out to God for me being able to just still compete in UFC. Like people getting cut left to right. So any time I get another contract, I just thank God, you know what I mean, that I get to continue to do what I love, and I get another chance to chase greatness every time. So like most importantly, shout out to God, give me favor to still do what I love. So let's go.
Hey,
awesome.
man. You have a great message and you have a great story. Thank you so much for coming on today.
No problem, man. I appreciate you guys' time. Hope
Yes,
you
sir.
guys enjoying the New Year's, man. And just go get what's yours, man. Like anything's possible. I want you guys all to believe that like I said, don't live in that fish pill. Go jump in the ocean. Go take it over.
Yes,
Sweet.
sir. Thank you so much.